Hey guys, it's Tim Rooney. Just wanted to do a quick intro since it's first time doing a talk show. It will be on in like 2 minutes or so. Do Max Kellerman show on Fridays, mainly because it's a great way to end your week with some entertainment. Figured that, and so right after this, I'm finishing up Greeny. Yeah, the Max Kellerman show will be very entertaining to react to, and you guys can either watch with me or listen to it on whatever radio thing you have, or basically it's on ESPN News coming up in like now a minute, and I'm gonna be and you guys can always state your opinions on it too in the live chat. I know he has some pretty ridiculous things to say, so just being a little bit patient here while we wait for Max to come on. You know him from First Take. He argues with Stephen A. He mainly does boxing, but is what his specialty is. But he's gotten better at other sports. Basically, Stephen A. had a talk show, and then they just gave it to Max Kellerman instead because Stephen A. had other things with the ESPN. Yeah, he's totally ridiculous on almost everything he says. Like he was talking about Tom Brady falling off a cliff as though it's happening rapidly. It wasn't. Things like that. It just like the guy's kind of not just the guy's very extreme in his comments. Sometimes he's miraculously right, and that's when it's like amazing, and like everyone's like, "Whoa, Max Kellerman was actually right." So you guys also can state your opinions based on mine. Oh, and it's on in exactly here it is intro the Max Kellerman show. Come on. And now the phone is ringing. I'm not going to pick it up. Um, okay, here we go. Call himself Uncle Max. What the hell? Yeah. NBA drama. This is the only time we do NBAs on the talk shows. I will not watch games. Kyrie's just a cancer to a team, I feel like. He's a bad leader. When you put him in that leadership role, I don't think he's good. It's just drama. KD is smart. It's kind of like Trevor Bauer and LeBron James. Social media is big for after your career. Kobe. Wow. Best option on every team he played for. He played with Kevin Love and LeBron James, and he hasn't done anything since LeBron as far as winning a finals. Kyrie, your ego is too big. I'm agreeing with Max on this one. Surprisingly. Veracity. Who's Kirk Coldsbury? He's trying to explain a book that nobody cares about. Come on, Max. I'm letting this all go like over my head. I don't. really care, Max. I don't care. He's talking about a book. Like, why? I don't even know who that is. How is he famous? He's not overly famous. Uh, LeBron and Kyrie. They played 3 seasons together, but it was so long ago. LeBron is pretty clutch when he doesn't pass the ball at the end. Yeah, that shot would have been made possible without LeBron there. They needed each other in Cleveland with that coaching staff. But they argue. They're trying to argue. Well, more than how do you get these calculations, dude? 10% better than Kyrie in these situations. They're saying LeBron is way more clutch and that Kyrie is just being stupid. They're both pretty good. LeBron's been known to pass out of his shot, but when he does take the shot, it was big. I remember against Dwight Howard and like Dwight Howard's last year with Orlando. He almost won the series single-handedly. He was like D Rose, just falling short though. But he had some game winners in that series. He's consistently good in the playoffs. That has to do with experience. LeBron's played way longer. Kyrie's just bitter that he couldn't be a star player. He didn't want to wait and take the reins of Cleveland, and they're lucky he didn't. I don't even know why they're still on this. Or once they're done talking about this, I think I'm gonna wait till next segment to actually go back into these reactions and more talk to you guys. Who do you think's better, more clutch, LeBron or Kyrie throughout their careers? I would say LeBron for sure. He's had some game winners. He's also knows when to pass it in the clutch to get the better shot. He also he's just more confident. I feel like I mean he's more of a more experienced, so better pedigree, and he has a much more championship pedigree. In late in games, I've seen him take over. Kyrie's choked a lot, actually, with like choked away big leads in the past. In like 5 minutes, last 5 minutes. We're talking the last 5 minutes. What do you guys think? Once he gets KD back, maybe that could be a tag team, but that's only if he gives up his ego. So, I honestly like. I think Kyrie is. Oh my god. I think. LeBron is clutch with more clutch than what you a stupid head coach thing. That's Kellerman is just bashing Kyrie. Oh, Kyrie Irving. I don't think Kevin Durant's ego is big, except he doesn't like when people criticize him. Neither of them like being criticized, and they're in New York, which is a stupid move in free agency for them. Also, DeAndre Jordan, I don't even know what's gonna happen with him. I think they got rid of him or something. I don't know what happened to him. They already had big men. I don't know why they went after DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan's done. That's what I feel like. He's a good rebounder, but all they have to do is foul him. And I think basically I think he's done. I mean, Dallas traded him for, I guess, Porzingis, but the Knicks didn't even want him. Wanted him, and that's like the only team that he got traded to. So, he can't carry a team. He's not a star player. He doesn't make enough impact. You couldn't win with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin all on their primes. He's saying Kyrie's irresponsible with his words. I'm agreeing with Max on this entire topic. This is such a rarity. It's just the way I usually agree with Stephen A on First Take, but I feel like that's more scripted. When it's not scripted, Max is actually a lot better. I'm noticing. I've only seen like 5 minutes of the show prior to this, like ever. Um, Waiting for like a baseball game to come on or something, but now I'm hooked. Hank Golden had a fragile ego. Nice. I really don't like Kyrie Irving. He needs to like look at himself rather than other people. He's a bad teammate just because he blames his teammates and everything but him. He complains all the time. He's a sore winner, sore loser. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not. If he stuck with LeBron, imagine how many championships he would have had. His ego is just out of control. Has Irving has Irving prevented him from when Malika Andrews. Yeah, I mean, I don't get the whole thing about mans. Honestly, like I get that I'm supposed to be sensitive to mansplaining, but in some situations like this, where I'm actually just reacting to something and explaining what I think, then it's a little different. Can someone give me a definition of that? Because I'm honestly like want to be aware. Because there are certain situations where I consider it not, even though it kind of is. All right. What is the uh, she explaining the experience she had and it's first world problems. Coffee is first world problems. I mean, Starbucks aren't really open right now. I mean, if so, there's like they have. I don't think they have drive. I don't think that the Starbucks around me is even open. So people have to go buy their own coffee at the store. Their ground coffee and making it in a coffee maker. It's a first world problem. I like Jimmy Butler. He's got a championship pedigree. Really wants to win. Um, I don't think he really was a cancer to any team he's been on. He just really wants to win, and apparently the people on his team aren't as competitive as him, and it doesn't seem like they want to win as much as him. And he also had to carry that Timberwolves team, had to carry the Bulls. The Bulls once D Rose was gone and injured all the time. So they're talking about Jimmy Butler kind of pranking some people about the coffee, kind of monopolizing it or something. It's pretty funny. I think he's funny too. I hope Joel. I hope with that stupid hire of Doc Rivers in the Sixers. Um, Joel Embiid asked for a trade to the Heat, and he goes to the Heat, and then they could pair up again. They were hilarious on the bench, and then their interviews. Jimmy Butler and Joel Embiid, and they're great friends, and that would really help. I mean, it would help the Heat, assuming Joel Embiid can stay healthy. I'm waiting for them to talk about baseball, because you know what? My A's made it. I'm still excited. In fact, look, it's formally announced that they made the DS, as in like, and this is kind of a pun. Nintendo, like the Nintendo DS is a Nintendo shirt. So I'm waiting for them to talk about that or football. I'm not as big in basketball, so I'm not really reacting to this as much. I just know some of the players. Warriors got the number 2 pick, but I think they should trade it to get Giannis. That and probably Wiggins. I think they could pull it off. Maybe another piece in there that's like Pascal, and then we get Giannis. I might watch then. I probably not. It's just such a long season and a lot of drama. I don't like the drama of the NBA. The NFL is about the limit as far as drama, but you can't have black coffee anymore. I just drink Mountain Dew. So Mountain Dew rather than coffee. You should try that. It gets you like amped up like right away. Unlike coffee, it takes a few minutes. And Max Kellerman, he's not even talking about sports, but that's probably when he's at his best. I don't really care what he has to say about sports as much. And by the time of day, like I'm already watching a bunch of talk shows earlier in the day. So by 11 o'clock or so, I'm usually like it's all rerun. So Okay, Bam needs to play if they're gonna win. Dragic is pretty much ruled out with a injury, so I'm like Bam has to play if they're gonna beat the Lakers. I don't know if they will. I don't even know the series score because, like I said, I don't pay attention to basketball. But I know Bam is one of the just from like what I've seen some tape of Bam, and it's like incredible how many block shots he gets. And I just stopped watching like at around the playoffs, first round of the playoffs. Well, second round. Um, One thing I don't want on this channel is it's to talk about people like sitting out due to non-basket. Keep it sports. Don't talk about um like people not playing the game for. I'm not even going to go into it. Not playing the game for while they're still healthy or something. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't like talking about that stuff. I think it just brings like a negative vibe. So that's why I don't like talking about the NBA news that much. It's a lot of that. It's game 2 tonight. You know what? If I hear the Heat win or something, I might watch just because I want to see LeBron lose another finals. I'm tired of him. He's like the main guy that in his like groupies, such as uh I forget what that guy was. He was a former basketball player too. He used to be on ESPN. Get Up a lot of the time. They called him like the LeBron disciples. LeBron and his disciples would would say that he's better than Michael Jordan. Have you seen Michael Jordan's tape? I don't really remember watching much of Michael Jordan. I saw him at the end, but all I have to do is watch his tape versus what LeBron has done throughout his career. And I've followed LeBron his whole career, and you'll see a huge difference. And you'll see a very huge difference. Way more athletic, way more effort into the game. Way more like drive on the court. Will play through anything. Also, MVP. I think he has. I don't think Michael Jordan lost to I don't think LeBron's. I think he has a way better finals record. Won multiple in a row. I think there was a time where he won like 3 straight. Or he had a dynasty, and LeBron's never had a dynasty, other than with the. Yeah, he didn't even get a dynasty with the Heat because he won 2 out of 4. You have to win 3 in 5 years. Yeah, and yeah, he was like 1 game away from that. So I don't know. So if Michael Jordan can win 3 straight, and LeBron can only win, uh, hasn't has only did never had a dynasty. I mean, that's something to look at. So winning basketball. Also, Michael Jordan was never afraid to take the shot. So I don't know. Just the overall tape though, like how he played and the guts he had, and the physicality aspect. Malika Andrews, not to be confused with Aaron Andrews. Fernando Tatis Jr. They just mentioned him. San Diego. That guy's like made a huge impact. He and Machado had basically carried that team. As far as like whenever they're down, they they would like even like last night's a great example of something they've been doing all season. Get in zone, auto zone. We got a commercial. Yeah, I just got tired of when they go on the same subject for like 5 minutes. I'm gonna stop reacting to it. I already got the gist from the get go. And in basketball, like I said, I don't go into too much depth. So I'm hoping they have a segment on baseball because that's what's super relevant right now, and the NFL, and I'm okay with the NFL as well, because the NFL is pretty cool. Who misses the Will Kane show? Um, okay, I miss the Will Kane show. What what happened? What's your guys' favorite talk show? So yeah, I'm still getting used to how I'm going to be doing this for talk shows, and it will definitely get better. Do not worry. Like I'm definitely going to be better and better and better. Kind of like my first baseball one wasn't very good at all. My first so like with live sports it's different. With Red Zone, catch me on Sunday. I will have the day off. I'm not doing anything Saturday, but Sundays are like if you really want action packed day. Sundays I'm doing Red Zone, and the early games, and sometimes the 1 o'clock games, depending on which games are better. But Sundays are like gonna be lit, and also Tuesdays and Thursdays, still gonna be like whatever. If there's baseball on, I'm gonna be watching that. Uh, yeah, basically that kind of stuff. And then uh, Mondays, I think I said I'd have to. Mondays I'm doing first take. That would be better for me reacting because I'm usually better at reacting when I hear two sides of every story. Greeny is kind of a laid back Wednesday. He's not. But he'll have a lot more critical thinking aspect. I'll have a lot more to say, critical thinking wise, rather than just like, but not really any like extreme reaction to it. Like, for example, I has and it's not really as many asking as many questions of you guys. So we'll figure this out. This is just a learning experience for me. I'm fairly new to YouTube. But yeah, live sports are going to be a lot better, especially yeah. And since there's you know what, it's the finals. I'll do game 3. I'll do the elimination games for the finals. If someone could be eliminated, then I'll probably do those just because there's like nothing on other than that in baseball. But I'll only do like part of that. Like I'll do reactions to that each quarter rather than doing a live stream. You should check out my Instagram. I only have a few posts right now, but I'm gonna do like memes and also like updates on the playoffs. Like for example, let's check this out. So for example, I added this is the AL bracket and who's advanced, and then I made the Houston Asterisks as a meme because they cheated, so I named them the Asterisks. Things like that. Just check it out. It's just type in Team Rooney. I have the link in my bio. It just says and it has basically the Instagram logo next to it, so you can just click on that. You'll find it. Follow or just like look at it. I don't really care. I only have. I'm basically following it with my other account, so right now no followers, but it's good for the future to know. And also it'll tell you some of the stuff. Who who would the title benefit more, LeBron or AD? This is first take thing. No, Kevin Garnett would be a Hall of Famer, dude. Dirk would be a Hall of Famer, even if he didn't win the championships. Yeah, they're basically the Charles Barkleys of the world. They deserved to be in there. They were so dominant. I feel like basketball, though, you do have to at least make a finals. And those, and they at least made a finals. But you don't have to win it. Whereas, like, I feel like if you're an NFL quarterback, specifically the quarterback, you have to win a championship, or you've had to change the game in a way that's really rare. Um, Randall Cunningham was one of like the first African American quarterbacks to do well outside of Warren Moon, and he was super good. He was pretty elite. Has records. I don't think any LeBron's gonna advance anymore in his Hall of Fame votes. He's already a first ballot. Probably maybe like a unanimous or something. I don't know if there was to be one outside of Michael Jordan. He already has 10 appearances. Oh wow, number 3 on the list for most NBA Finals losses. Oh, LeBron. But it's not really his fault. He just a lot of the time. He's saying, oh, even Kendrick Perkins is now saying, LeBron is already there as the go. There, people are saying that now, but when they look back at these careers, they're going to say no. I still like would say the Allen Iverson and Dominique Wilkins were the two people that were like the best players, like in far as making an impact to not win a finals. At least Iverson made a finals. The Sixers almost the Sixers I think won one game against the Lakers, and the Lakers almost would have swept the playoffs if it weren't for that. Oh yeah, I don't know that. I'd have to check it out. The Lakers were like the most dominant team, and they were not. So I take back what I just said. The Lakers, I remember, were like with Shaq and Kobe were like the greatest, one of the greatest. It was probably by far the best team anyway. So it's kind of a shock that Game One went to the Sixers, even though like Iverson, Dikembe was old. Please stop talking about basketball. It's getting old. Adam Gase, he's talking about how bad he is. 37 points up to the Broncos. At least they scored 28. And he just lost to the injured Niners. That I agree with, but now it's like, I'm okay as long as everybody's getting injured from getting hit hard. It's gotten soft. The NFL has gotten way too soft. You used to be able to physical with the wide receivers if you're a cornerback, and vice versa. Now you can't. It's like people used to like roughing the QB is really the start of that. And no more missile tackle as of years ago. Dude, Bob Sanders was so fun to watch. Dwight Freeney in his prime. Those two people um, were like known for like the hard hits and like thumping their chest and celebrating and hitting the quarterback. They wanted to hurt you. Um, Mean Joe Green, Ronnie Lott, like some of these greatest players of all time in defense would have been terrible today because they hit too hard. I like Kiko Alonso. I like Clay Matthews. So I'm agreeing with Max. It's soft, but it's not going to change. It's kind of a lost cause. Overall, it's a good sport. Well, Greg Williams is talking about like they're talking about targeting Frank Gore. Dude, why him? Greg Williams is saying this. Nice hit. Who's number 4 on the uh Broncos? Ripken. I don't even know who that is. They're already on the backup quarterback and they're trying to kill that guy. That's how it used to be, like my early childhood, and then they screwed it up. That's considered a great hit to get your team going back when I was younger, until about 15 years ago. Dude, Jim Kelly, look him up. How many times he got hit? The former Bills quarterback who's in the Hall of Fame, made it to 4 Super Bowls, lost them all. But like that guy. Oh hey, what's up? I'm watching the Max Kellerman show and basically stating my opinion on what he's saying. Wick is your name? Dude, football used to be a hardcore sport, and it still should, and it should have stayed that way. They signed up for it. Dude, Teddy Bruschi used to crush people, and part of what I've heard him say in the past, part of why he retired was because he wasn't because of this whole thing about you can't do certain tackles. Um, yeah, basically, there was a guy named Deshaun Goldson or like Dante Whitner that just they were so used to doing that thing called the missile tackle, and then they weren't allowed to do it. So I'm kind of irritated by. Oh, he's showing off a book again. The same book he was talking about, Sprawl Ball, with the W. I'll spell it out for you because it's so boring. Sprawl Ball Max. Max who? Oh, Sprawl Ball. Yeah, but it's a different time from when that was written. The game has evolved. People have different skill sets than they did back then. Like the 3 ball from a big in general at one point, like until like Pistol Pete Maravich, there was like no one was gonna shoot the 3 ball. I don't think, and at one point it didn't even exist. Um, and then also like big men shooting threes, unheard of until like Cliff Robinson who recently passed away, um, invented like brought the three ball to be like a big popular thing for bigs, and then it faded for a while, and then we had Dirk. We had and Antoine Jameson is technically could play power forward, but he's more like a small forward. Players have got like Shaq is not would not be as dominant because he's there are people that are just as big as him, if not bigger now, than what and stronger than what he was, and that was basically his advantage. But he's kind of started that trend of like the centers have to be over 7 foot. I mean, he was 7'1", so his references are so stupid. They're like so outdated and like so obscure because of that. A progressive. Who here likes Flow? Flow. Who the heck is Zubin? I don't know. And once again, they need to talk about baseball. In fact, isn't there like a game on right now that make this way more entertaining? I don't know. This Max Kellerman show is not very good today. Um, I will be back. Should I look for something else to watch? I'm not interested. They're not talking about baseball. Let's see if there's actually anything good on. I think there's a game on, the Cubs or something today, but I don't even know what time they would be on. Let's see. Um, we got Marlins Cubs. I'm gonna check on that score. Maybe come back to that because I'd rather hear stuff about baseball. All right. It is a 0-0 score. I will be back later on in this game. Because the Max Kellerman show has been terrible today, and maybe it'll be terrible going forward. I just don't. I'm still working on some of the. I'd have to watch this back and learn. All right, but I'll be back for the Cubs game. Maybe. No, I don't know. For like, I'll be doing recorded stuff from the rest of the day. All right, peace.